We have seen a fair bit of combo that I am pretty happy to put two of these in the sideboard. I don't think I want the chokes. Surgical's still pretty nice. I still really like the Deafening Silences, but I could see cutting down on silence for one more card. Like an extra endurance. 2 and 2 split. And then a 2 and 2 split between surgical and endurance. Removal, 2 and 2 split between force and here. Could try the cube. I've never done cube. Do you like MBT? MBT. 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 What is MBT? I do like Mind Break. I think as well against the Reanimator decks, it's not too bad because there's a lot of ways where they go like land, looting, pedal, reanimate, or ritual. It really stops those fast starts, which is nice. And I think again, it's just better than some cards in the deck against it. Tough though. Questing Beast would be fun. I do like that Thrun is just like the 4-drop that I want against Bant decks. Where it can't be Krakist, it can't be Swords, it can't be Prismatic Endinged. Just really hard to beat. Hey Pinkster. Oh, you the daddy? That was a tough one. We definitely we mulliganed to Deafening Silence, and we didn't keep Deafening Silence White Source. We kept Deafening Silence Tabernacle, but then you got to like 5 mana so quickly that we would have died to a empty anyway. So I think I was a little bit greedy. I'm pretty keen to run this back and see how this one goes. Let's do it. Let's just run it back. Hey DJ, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Not sure why my webcam isn't working. Just gonna quickly see if I can undo it and then plug it back in. I don't like Court of Grace because you don't have full control over it. There's a lot of decks right now which can steal the Monarch pretty easily. I did try Sphere of Resistance, but it just didn't do enough. I kind of like Dampening Sphere, but I also just like more like turn 1 or turn 0 plays against the combo decks. Yikes. No green source is pretty huge. Okay. This is actually a tough one. I think it's the Bog we drop, but I kind of like it as a second mana source at least. Alright, this most likely is Doomsday. Just what you expect when you see Underground Sea Ponder. They've been playing the Epic Storm. Okay. So it's going to be Tess again. Mox. That's kind of nice. I don't think I want to hold up. The only reason I want to hold up Swords to Plowshares here is if I could get above 21 life and live through like a Tendrils for Xaxes. But because we fetched there, I can't. So I could have played the Mox. Yeah, it's a tough one. And now we can hold up Endurance if it's valid. Most likely not valid. If my opponent misplays with a Truth, we could perhaps steal it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. So now we could play Depths, Mox, pitch Savannah, and then have 2 mana up plus Depths, or we could Mox, pitch Depths, hold up 2 mana and play Reclaimer. I think we have to try to get towards Depths, so I think it is play Depths and then try to get towards stage. And then we also, again, have a green card for Endurance if it's needed. Oh, Ice Fang. Wow, I did not expect that. Did not expect Ice Fang. Interesting. Maybe they don't want to get the value line going. Going for flagstones here. And going a bit wider. I'll play the step. Give Pro black. Not really relevant, but it is one land that we can drop to have extra mana next turn. Okay. Yavimaya would be a sweet draw. It's only a 1-of though. Green Suns. Okay. Could also hold up, get Yavimaya, and then just Dark Depths. So the question here is, we hold up swords. I guess we actually have access to, yeah, 1 extra mana. So we can either hold up swords or play Reclaimer second. Second Reclaimer isn't doing a ton anyway. Other than if the Dark Depths doesn't survive, we can then start going off again with double Reclaimer to get like flagstones out. We will pass and merit on that turn, but we can still do that. It's really a case of, do I care about the holding up the swords? And I don't think I do. I think I worry about losing the 2020 and then using these to rebuild. Mighty Penguin, you should find the Eternal Weekend top 8 green-white list that wasn't playing Moxen. That looks really solid. And obviously is a lot cheaper than this version with Moxen. And I think it was playing something entirely different. I don't think it was playing Lotus Petal or Exploration. Leovold? Uro? Green Suns for 2. Probably like another Ice Fang. I guess it could be oof and I should have responded, but it's okay. Ice Fang. Grist. That's fine. This is another great reason to play the second Reclaimer, because now they can deal with one Grist if they wanted to. But now we just get to swing in and then give pro next turn with the other step. So I guess it doesn't matter if I draw the step, so I don't have to do it in end step. Step. Pro green, nice. Okay, this is gonna be some sort of mid-range deck. I think we should suspect that it's gonna be Alurin and bring in the forces. So if I still have that cut out, yeah, this is how I went about sideboarding last game. So tab, double force, we don't have the choke, so let's bring in prismatic endings. And then 2 Moxen, Dark Depths, Needle, Bog. 2 Moxen. I do like the Needle seeing the Grist though, so that can be where the other card comes out. And I think we will take out the Bog. Arboreal Graze is pretty interesting as well. I haven't played it myself, but I do like the thought of it. Maybe double force is overkill, especially if you get both in openings, because we have prismatic ending as well, but this hand is pretty sweet. Happy to keep this. Hey Justin, a huge thank you for the raid. How did you go playing Vintage, and what did you play? Hey all those from Justin's stream, I'm Dukes on Twitch. I play Legacy FedEx. We're currently playing Green-White Depths against what we believe is Alurin. We didn't see Alurin in game 1, but yeah, up a game, which is nice. Hey 90s, welcome. Aloha. I would say Depths is fair by our standards. Pretty happy here just for land pass. Hold up crop. I kind of want to crop for flagstones and then start going wide with our mana. Hey BBW, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Yeah, you should be able to find the deck list over here with the coupled live functionality. Hey, Aloha. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I would say green white is pretty fair. Like a 2020 on turn 3 or 4 isn't the biggest thing. There is a world where I could have gone for Wasteland there. Take them off the trop. If they cast like an Ice Thing here on their turn. Okay, they have a third land. Esper Sentinel's pretty sweet. Okay. That's not too bad. Get Flagstones here. And then untap and just Green Suns for another Arbor. Saga's pretty nice as well. See if Saga lands, or if Nita lands. They're gonna fetch. Hey Xao, welcome. Esper Sentinel seems really cool. I'm a huge fan of that card, so seeing that in the deck is pretty sweet. I'm gonna name Grist because we saw that before. And then just keep the ball rolling with Elvish Reclaimer. There we go. Hey team. Move this back down here. Nice. Crisp camera. I actually have a Sony A5100 that I just can't get to work yet in the way that I want it. Green Suns for Ignoble Hierarch perhaps here. Noble Hierarch, okay. Lovely mug, too kind. Ah, 90s, too kind. Too kind. Alright. It's pretty nice. I don't mind taking them off their mana here, but I also want to use the Saga most likely. So I think it's just going to be a pass with the Saga activation. But taking them off extra mana is pretty interesting to say the least. We only have one white source as well, so actually I'm just going to pass. They got another Dryad Arbor, which makes me think this is going to be a natural order deck. I guess we'll see. Like bug natural order. We did see a Bant natural order in the last league. That's a really spicy list because it's just playing a bunch of main deck artifacts like Thorn of Amethyst, Sphere of Resistance, which does make the combo matchup a lot better. Plays Exploration and Loam, which is nice. Main deck Graveyard Hate through Saga. This actually looks really fun. Brainstorm's fine. Okay. There is a world here where I just want to get Tabernacle instead of making the Saga token. But it's close. I might actually do that in my turn. They're actually giving me the option to trade here as well, because I could potentially trade away the flagstones, or activate Reclaimer, put a land in the bin, and then get another flagstones, and then put a flagstones in the bin. So we would lose one of these lands, which I don't think is worth it. I'd rather just let this through. If I had like another land drop perhaps, but here it's just a little bit too much. Stage. Okay. I'm gonna float a mana here, because I potentially want a Green Suns. Yeah, I think I float a mana here because I want to activate Shadow Spear. Yep. Land. Equip. And then I'm happy to swing with this. Icewind Quaddle doesn't currently have any trample, any death touch, and endurance isn't lethal, which is nice. Right. Second main. Sack the flagstones. Go and get a Savannah first. And then go and get Tabernacle. Which kind of takes them off 4 mana, which is pretty huge. I mean, a Wasteland take out 4 mana is, yeah, something you don't often see. They're gonna play the Ice-Fang anyway. Interesting. Once Upon a Time's pretty good as well. Because the deck has a lot of powerful effects in both lands and creatures, it gets kind of a maximized amount of power. Unlike, you know, Elves is probably still up there because hitting a Cradle is just so big. But say Once Upon a Time in Hogak is probably a little bit different because you're only really hitting creatures that are enablers, not lands. But I've definitely seen it in, yeah, in all modes. Thankfully, the Yavimaya means we can also use the Tabernacle to pay for our creatures, which is pretty sweet. And we just get to 6, which is awesome. But it definitely feels like a natural order version, especially playing 2 Dryad Arbors. You don't often see that unless they're really doing something with their creatures, like natural order. Library. Okay, that's a pretty good target for ending, which is nice. They're going to attack as well. I guess they can't really block, so they might as well try to get some damage in. So let's pay for both of these. Ramanap. Oof, close. Green, white, ending this. And then probably just attack with both creatures, let's be honest. Get nice and aggressive. Tabernacle Online is also a huge clock killer, which isn't great, but it is part of the game. I'm sorry to say, but... Funnily enough, for those of you who came from Justin's stream playing Vintage, I entered Vintage on a budget with like a mono black Dark Depths deck, which was pretty fun with like rituals. Hex Mages were actually really good at the time because you could remove counters from things like Tangle Wire, Chalice, which was a 4 of at the time, and then played cards like, I think it's Grim Discovery, which is 1 and a black sorcery, return up to 1 target land and up to 1 target creature from your graveyard to your hand, which is pretty sweet because you get back Dark Depths and Hex Mage, which is pretty awesome. And then you had a lot of like hand disruption, bobs for card advantage. A pretty quick win. Like if you could go like Mox, Ritual, hand disruption, Hex Mage, play Depths, pass, it's pretty good. Obviously that's like the Christmas land, but the deck was pretty consistent due to just the amount of 4-ofs in the deck. Right, again, paying for both of these. I don't mind Swords, Ice Fang, and just get in there. I could also just attack with both because they can't really do much anyway. And then see how they respond. Because if they have like Abrupt Decay for the Shadow Spear or Abrupt Decay for the Construct, it's a little bit different. But they kind of have to block the Visionary here. That's fine with us. They go to 1, which turns off fetch lands as well, which is pretty huge. And I think what I'll do is see if they pay for any of their creatures with their lands and keep a creature up, and then swords that creature in their upkeep. You're gonna play an Ice Fang, okay. Nice. Very cool. Always a nice way to start the league. You're running a non-Mox list with Giver of Runes some while ago. Yeah, I used to love the old school versions during Ren and 6 with Giver of Runes and Tomic, which is pretty cool. Which, for those of you who don't know, Tomic is a 2 white flying 2/3 with lands you control can't be the target of your opponent's spells or abilities, I believe. Tomic was really cool. Here we go. Do you find that Saga tends... Hey Cyphro, welcome. Just before I answer your question, do you find that Saga tends to move a lot of your matchups towards the mean? I have some complicated thoughts on the card that I'm trying to get into words. Yeah, it's tough. So Saga does... Like, one example is Saga opens up the deck a lot to Meltdown, which kind of sucks against Delver, which is a pretty good matchup. But opening yourself up to so much like Artifact and Enchantment Hate is pretty brutal. And it's really a case of, is the power that you get from Saga worth the downside of opening yourself up to so much more removal? It's a little bit like a deck opening itself up to Graveyard Hate if you start bringing in, you know, like Loams into the deck or something like that. But I would say there's enough games where Saga has won us the match because Depths couldn't, that it's been worth all the times we've been hit by Meltdown, or, you know, the mana's been a little bit off because we've had Sagas in the deck. I would say I've had better luck with Saga in probably in green-black Depths than green-white, because green-white you already have the plan B of Green Sun's package, another Reliquaries, Beatdown, but having that plan B in green-black through Constructs is pretty awesome. Because typically, like, some people just bring in Surgical to answer Dark Depths, which is fine, because without Dark Depths and without something like Saga, you have a really hard time winning the match with Hex Mages and Beatdowns from Reclaimers. So it's pretty sweet in there. But there are times where it feels a little bit underplayed as well. And yeah, DJ, I think that Saga is obviously good in the artifact-based decks where you have a lot of ability to just make them 4/4s or 5/5s early on. Like, I think 8cast and Painter are the two decks that it really shines, because it gives the deck both a win condition and also a way to find your win conditions. But it's tough. Once you've played with Saga and Depths, it's very hard to not play with Saga. Yeah, the big reason why I didn't want to play Saga was because I felt like it moved us away from being able to like go for Dark Depths. It was kind of like a plan C that didn't really interact with plan A or B. So I was off it for a bit, but I think like getting things like Pith and Needle or having them in the deck or Shadow Spear to get through things like tokens is pretty nice. I haven't put Retrofitter Foundry in this version because I don't think we need that grinding aspect, but it's pretty hard not to. Yikes. Really want a green source, but I think we just keep this and hope we draw into green. I'm gonna bottom the Night of Autumn and hold the second crop, but a risky keep for sure. But yeah, there have been times where I've got like, you know, Proclaimer online, Dark Depths online, or Dark Depths in play, and then like going for stage, and it's like, wait, let's go for Saga. And like, that just, you know, gives your opponent an extra like 4 turns if you're trying to win through that. I believe Warrior's been on green-white before as well. So this game could be over sooner than later, unfortunately. Dark Depth's not a great draw. Warrior has got some really nice finishes with green-white as well. I think here we just see this Savannah turned into a Flagstones. I would say Maverick is the main deck, but it definitely depends. I could wasteland my Flagstones to go and get Savannah, but that's not a great play. They get a Plains, okay. Plains and then perhaps Stage, because you can copy a basic. Could just get another Flagstones as well and keep going wide. Wasteland. Ugh. What does F9 do in MTGO? I don't want to find out. Tough. The mirror is always interesting. I like the endings. I don't mind endurance as just a way to beat down, but that's probably it. Depths can definitely come out, or at least go down to 1. I still like Stage and Saga. Thrun's definitely interesting. Moxen could also be cut. Although Tome Library is just so good. I wonder if they bring in... I'm going to assume they bring in Force, because I'm going to assume they're on Saga as well. But I don't want to overcommit. I mean, we already have 2 Endurances. I don't mind something like this. Mox is just a really terrible top deck that I can't really afford having multiples in the deck, and obviously getting them hit by Force of Vigor isn't the greatest when it's a 2 for 2. Or at least you drop a card as well, so it's even worse. I think I'm pretty happy just going with the double Force, double ending. And keeping your hand with some basics. Ugh. Again, like, Wasteland here is just so good. I guess we do have crop rotation up, so could keep in bottom bog. It's probably more likely keep in bottom dark depths. Unless we get to a stage where we could just go off with dark depths, which is very unlikely, but does happen. Yeah, Saga with Soul Lands is very good, especially when you try to wasteland them off the mana and then they just play the Soul Land to activate it for 2. I think the Bog has more play to it, but the Bog getting wastelanded early means that we don't have that extra color for Prismatic ending, which is pretty tough, but I do like that it's a mana source. Yeah, I'm gonna hide it. Having it at instant speed is a lot better as well. Hey Ari, welcome. Afternoon. It's just gonna be Savannah Pass. Then we hold up Swords and Crop. The only awkward start here is Mox Diamond into Elvish Reclaimer and then Wasteland for turn. Okay. I will draw Swords. Probably should have got Yavimaya instead of this, but hopefully it's okay. Wow, they're gonna Surgical Crop. Yikes. That probably means I just get a Plains here. But that means they have a second Wasteland. No. Okay. Do we get a land? No. Probably shouldn't have played out the Dark Depths either, but that's life. Library's really good. Yeah. I don't think there's a game there, unfortunately. Tough. The library just takes over, and the Surgical and Crop was really good. I think, yeah, going for Yavimaya was better. Definitely. But yeah, Tomic's really interesting. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities your opponents control. So I believe it also turns off Loam, which is interesting. We don't have Map. No, I think Map's too slow for the green-white version. I only have Needle for Wasteland Caracas and other things, and Shadow Spear. Because we're only playing the 2 sagas, I didn't want to go too all in on the amount of artifacts we were playing. Against Blessed Fawn. Yeah, these openers are just shocking. Okay. I guess we drop a stage and start on Windswept Heath, so we can either play turn 1 Reclaimer, and then if it gets hit, we can then hold up Swords and Wasteland if we draw Wasteland turn 2. Force Pitch Brainstorm, interesting. Definitely a small win. Okay, Delver I don't really care about. That's pretty nice because this allows us to... If I play a turn slower, I can hold up Crop and also hold up Saga when it's on 2, which is nice. So I'm pretty happy for that. What do they reveal? Iteration. Big question is, do they have a land? Flooded Strand. Let's see what Ponder does. No shuffle. I'm pretty happy just to empty the board, take the pressure off, even though Delver's their worst. Their worst target. I could wait for Reclaimer to be a 3/4, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to play Reclaimer out because the upside's just so huge of getting that online. Dryad Arbor's also interesting. Could have just got Dryad Arbor then played Crop Rotation around Days next turn. I think Reclaim is fine. Especially with Crop, we could just Crop for a fetch land, which saves the Reclaimer from a Bolt, which is pretty huge. The question is, do I want to save the Reclaimer? And if I am, why am I? Because next turn, Saga goes to 2, we play a land, and we can hold up Saga and Crop Rotation, which is pretty sweet. The Reclaimer's not doing a whole lot anyway. And most of these decks only have, like, maybe a Brazen Borrower in the main deck, maybe some Wastelands to interact with the combo. I don't really want to open myself up to Days either. So I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. I could just go ham here. I could play around False Negation, but I can't really because they can just hardcast it anyway. So let's just see what happens. Oh. Yeah, okay. Sometimes it just works out. I like the Prismatic Endings. I like the Endurances. That's really it. Needle and Wasteland I think is still fine. I think one Library can go out. Night of Autumn can go out. Probably a Mox, but Mox in the draw is still nice because it allows us to play around Days a little bit, and it also gets us the ability to turn on Reclaimer a little bit faster. I'm going to drop one Knight. As good as Knight is, I think... Yeah. Bog is good because we can turn off DRC and maybe get Murktide off the field, or at least not being able to be hit for some time. Dark Depths is still strong. I like Karakas because of Ragavan. Sajiri Step is still good for bounce effects. It could just be a trim. Safekeeper's interesting, but I think Safekeeper's okay. It really puts pressure on them to remove it. I don't mind just trimming. 2 creatures for 2 endurance. I don't think this is good enough. Can really get hit there by just not keeping a great hand with mana. Again, not a great hand with mana, but I'm not going to go down to 5. I'm going to bottom the Bog. And at least we have a white source for the swords. And we have the Sylvan Library to get us back above card parity, which is nice. Wow, Volk Pass. Depths. Okay. That's fine. Yav's pretty nice here. Yav means we can hold up crop rotation as well. I'm going to wait for main phase. For a beginning of combat, sorry. So they can't dash another one. We also just have the combo next turn because of Yavimaya. I think we're just going to do that. They have 6 cards in hand. We also have, like, play Sylvan Library, hold up, crop. I don't mind that. If they want to counter this and they're not going to counter the crop, okay, well, they just let that go. The fetch here is a huge tell that it's going to be Murktide Regent. It would just be a 5/5, but I think I'm pretty happy to get rid of the graveyard here for that. I don't think there's any other reason other than perhaps Ponder if they want to fetch first. Nice. Really wanted to keep that off. Wow, okay. Put on top. Put on top. I'm actually in a position where we can pay, let's be honest. How do I want to do this? Do I want to show the Safekeeper first or the crop rotation? Probably just the Safekeeper. Off the depths. No bolt, pretty huge. This is fine. Double crop here is really nice against Wasteland as well, because we can crop for Blast Zone first, but we do need the 3 mana. 1 for crop and 2 to activate, so kind of hope they just fire off the Wasteland here. They're going to go for that. That's pretty interesting. Wow. They also just played that for turn, so looking pretty tough for them. Unless they have like Stifle. They need like Bolt, Submerge, and something else. I'm gonna get rid of the step because we can crop away this Yavimaya still. Another Submerge. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Unban Oko and Labe. No. Okay, this is actually a pretty nice hand. Yeah, this is a really nice hand. Yeah, we have Tried Arbor going back. Yav Pass is fine. Holding up Crop just in case they're on like Reanimator, we can hold up Bog. Okay. Can we ban our opponent? Wasteland. Do I want to play the Dark Depths or the stage here? I think I just want to play the stage. Just thinking, like, if we crop away something, what do I want to crop away? Bauble's okay. Sai is the, Yeah, Sai is the big card that I'm worried about here. Oh, but they have nothing? Wow, that usually never happens against this deck. That was a free attack as well. I should have attacked there for 1. Yikes. Not the worst, but a little scary. Tangle wire. Really? Yikes. Still pretty happy to go for it. So they can stack it to the fading counters, go down to 3, I believe, and then they'll have to tap 3 things, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I might just want to get towards like Green Suns for Dried Arbor, just get more things on the board. If we get that chance. But seeing Sai is big, because if we get to see that, we get to bring in Tabernacle, which is pretty nice. Tanglewire as a card is very cool. I don't want to crop for Bog here. I could crop for... No, I was going to say Caracas, but it doesn't really do anything. I guess it keeps the Emry off the board. But probably rather just have the green mana, let's be honest. Oh, no, 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 no. Just going to go and get Dried Arbor. Tower of the Magistrate is pretty cool. Shadow Spear gets through tokens as well, which is nice. A few things you can have some fun with, which is pretty cool. Tower of the Magistrate is also a really nice way to deal with the germ on Kaldra Complete. Or any creature attached to Kaldra Complete. Or the germ on Batterskull. Or other equipment. Wow, they just don't have a way to deal with the 2020, which is really nice. We get to untap, tap down 2 cards that don't really matter, and then just swing in for 20. So nice little win there. I like the Deafening Silences. I like the Prismatic Endings. I like the Collect Oof. I like the Force of Vigors. Tabernacle's interesting. I'm not sure if I really want it just yet, but a consideration. Knights, I don't mind trimming here. Endurances are okay at turning off the graveyard. I don't mind Ramanap for the longer game. Safekeeper can most likely come out. Needle's good. Shadow Spear is good. Actually, I do like Tabernacle as just a way to kind of force things through. Surgical is good for Emry, but I feel like we might have enough answers for Emry, which is nice. I'm going to go down on a step. Bog's still good. Crack is still good. Mox Diamonds are interesting. They could be the pip. And then like one library, especially seeing Hull Breacher. Maybe I don't want the libraries. Maybe I'll keep one Mox in for the Saga. It's a lot of hate, but I think this is okay. No colored mana. Really tough. We do have colored mana. Keep this Bottomless Shadow Spear. And now we can either turn 1 Oof or Silence. Oof does hit us, so maybe there's a world where we don't play the Mox and just go Savannah, Deafening Silence, Collect Oof. If we get a turn, that is. I think here I just have to go Mox. Maybe not. If they silence, they can go land, Hull Breacher, Echo, which is probably the reason they kept this hand. I think I like it. Yeah, I think losing the Mox is much more of an upside than them losing their Moxen. Okay. It's a nice draw. Now we can hold up next turn Oof and Savannah and get in. Unless they cast a creature. That's their spell for turn. One, two, three. There is a world where I just want to get Elvish Reclaimer and not attack this turn. I don't want to attack into a Hull Breacher and lose this. So I think actually we'll... it's not enchantment? Okay, that changes things up. I'm going to see what they do, because there's a world where I want to upkeep Wasteland the Ancient Tomb, and I think I will. Especially knowing they're on Karn. Get Savannah. And then Crop gets Wasteland. Nice. City's okay. This also turns Elvish Reclaimer into a 3/4. Okay, well we just drew the Reclaimer. I'd rather play Reclaimer than hold up Crop. But thankfully, turn 1 move, turn 2 silence is exactly what we wanted. Okay. So casting something here. Most likely Urza. The question is, do I want to... I think I do just want to crop into Karakas here to hit it before they get the construct. They're going to force that. Okay. That's pretty nice. Kind of hits us though. They can currently pay for them anyway. So I think here I'm just going to Green Suns for Arbor to get some mana going, and then hopefully turn that Arbor into a Flagstones and get closer to that route. They have 0 cards in hand as well, but they do get to start flipping. Hit a seat. Okay, that's pretty good for us. I actually get to play Tabernacle next turn and then throw it away to the Reclaimer, which is pretty cool. Surely they attack. I think they have to attack. They have to put a clock on the board. I don't think there's any reason to keep the construct back. Unless they're trying to... Saga again? Windswept. The only thing is if my opponent flips Psy next turn, then I don't want to get rid of the Tabernacle. So I'm actually going to play the Windswept here. And then we can use Dryad Arbor to block the construct, and then trade away the Dryad Arbor for Thespian Stage. Right, well you hit Cavern. Another nothing card, really. No attacks, alright. Pretty good draw. It's pretty nice. I'm not too sure why they're playing their land before they activate. But I think in response to Urza here, I will just make the 20/20 in case they like hit Pithing Needle. I assume they have Pithing Needle in the deck as like a Urza target. They hit 2 lands so far. What do they hit on this one? Sigh. Okay. Well, they can cast that, but they have no cards in hand, so they can't actually get a construct down, I believe. Unless they can here. They get a chance. They get a chance. No, because they cast the Bauble. They can't cast a non-creature spell through the Deafening Silence. Oh, they hit Resculpt! And they can't cast it! No! Oh, that is sensational. That is so nice. Ugh. So close. So close. Oh, can they? No, surely not. Can they? Oh, it's free? Oh, it's free. Oh, no. Wait. No, they can't because of Deafening Silence, of course. They can't cast it. Ah, they can't cast it. I guess it's not a pun on either side. Because they played the Bauble. Yeah, they cast the Bauble. Ugh. They played the Bauble, of course. Oh my gosh. Alright. Rough. OP. That's a tough one. Reason to make Lage before seeing the spin. The big one is Pithing Needle, which I can't respond to. Or if they're playing like Sorcerer's Spyglass, something like that. Oh, they still cast it? Oh, okay, sorry. I thought the resolution was part of the whole Urza thing. So yeah, I guess definitely waiting there is the correct thing to do. They have to cast, yeah. I thought it was just like kind of like activating Vial in a way. So yeah, in that case, there is absolutely no reason to make the 2020. That's a good one to know for future. That's a good learning tip. Because Urza does see a little bit of play in Legacy, so yeah, knowing that is good. But yeah, Tomic's definitely an interesting consideration to go back to, especially with these Bant decks picking up Loam. It does stop Loam as well. Star Fox. Elves. Are we quick enough to beat Elves here? How good is Madness right now? It's pretty solid. Most depth decks are faster. Definitely Green-Black is. And Green-White's usually pretty good as well. These two are kind of dead cards. So we go turn 1, Savannah. Turn 2, Stage. Yeah. We need to draw into Yavimaya. I think there's a better 6. Oh, this is not it. That was a greedy. That was a greedy drop. Bottom Knight, bottom Shadow Spear. Opponent went to 5. This is a case of playing Stage next turn and then playing Library and trying to get there through Crop Rotation or Dark Depths. Reclaimer is probably the land that I want to see. Virtual Ranges, okay. Yav. I wonder if they'll trade. No. Alright, the race is on. Surely they have a 1-mana spell here. Yeah, Reclaimer. Okay. Yes. 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 I'm just trying to see if I can double crop here and Wasteland. I think I can. I can crop Dried Arbor into Dark Depths, and then crop Sav into Yav, but I think we're only playing one Yav. We're playing 2 Yavs. Okay, we're playing 2 Yavs. So I think the play here is just to pay 8, go to 12. But there is a world where we're not supposed to. Because it puts us down too much. Like a Cradle Hoof could be lethal if we do keep double crop. They're down to 3 cards. I think I'm pretty happy to try that line. Oh, they found Cradle. I don't think this is enough. If they Cradle Hoof. Nice. I mean, we might as well just do this now. We crop away Dried Arbor for Dark Depths. And then we crop away Savannah for the last Yav. And then we let them attack. Oof. Ooh. Love it. Love it. Ah. Scary. Endurance out. Needle's okay. Safekeeper is probably out as well. I'm going to assume they're playing Assassin's Trophy. I like the endings. I like the tab. Mindbreak Trap is interesting. I don't mind it on the draw. Just to be a little bit there. Bog can come out, and I can drop down on Caracas as well. I think this is fine. Oof. But that's like, I think that's a really good showing of how Depths can mulligan pretty aggressively to the combo. And Sylvan Library is just such a good card at getting you back above what you've mulliganed to. So, you know, pretty lucky there, but I think the consistency of the deck really showed itself there. Whew. And, you know, still, even on the green-white version, being that turn faster than Elves most of the time, it's a really nice feeling. 2 crops were really lucky, yeah. Definitely. And then, like, my opponent not having an extra 1-drop to actually get that extra damage through as well. Alright, Star Fox. Interesting hand. It's really just Tabernacle and play lands. Which isn't great because we have to throw away our only colored source. I think this is a bit of a trap hand. Like, unless they play Yavimaya, that's probably our best card, so I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, this is actually a lot better. I am gonna keep this. And probably just bottom the Knight. Here's the thing though. Tabernacle, in a way, deals with their creatures. Most likely answered by a Cradle, which we have access to Wasteland here. But I think Tabernacle is just the way to slow them down, so I think it is either the Knight or Prismatic Ending. I don't think they would have brought in, like... I don't think Elves plays Sylvan Library. Like, even in the board. I think it just doesn't really care about it. Run Afoul is definitely a card to consider as well. I'm going to bottom the Prismatic Ending just because we have the Tabernacle. And I want to have some sort of pressure in Knight. Now I have some options. We could Wasteland the Dried Arbor. I kind of want to keep Wasteland for Tabernacle, for Cradle, because we have Tabernacle. So I probably don't mind just fetch for Savannah here and Swords the Dried Arbor. Just keep them off mana creatures. There's Cradle. Okay. So I think here, still interesting. I could be really aggressive and crop for Wasteland, hit the Cradle, and then play Tabernacle. But then they have 2 mana anyway. But I do feel like I have to hit the Cradle here. It's just a little bit too good. Especially while they don't have Reclaimer up. There is a world where we get to... They don't play a land here and just pass with Reclaimer up, and we get to play Tabernacle, then hold up Crop for Wasteland for them. But then we can't actually pay for our own Reclaimer, which is pretty funny. I could see a world where the Savannah actually just becomes... Flagstones. Okay. That's actually really nice. It's not Because I have to. I kind of want to play two things this turn, but I can't. I think it's tab pass, to be honest. And then the following turn we can do the Flagstone shenanigans with Wasteland. Interesting, they sacked the Arbor. They could have Assassin's Trophy here. It's just going to be Yav. Upkeep pay. Flagstones pass. It's tough because they're so close to natural order as well. I think I'm pretty happy to start going for the combo here. Flagstones for Dark Depths. Or for Thespian Stage, sorry. They could potentially get Wasteland here. They get Misty. Okay. Interesting. I guess if they have a Cradle here, they could go and get Dried Arbor. It actually works out either way. Dried Arbor, play Cradle, 3 mana? No. 1 off. Alright, now they're holding up like Assassin's Trophy or maybe like Run Afoul. But having the Flagstones here is just so nice. There's a world where I just get second Flagstones, unless there's one still on the deck. Yeah, there is. What am I doing next turn? I think I'm actually playing Knight, so I don't mind getting Stage here. Saga is always interesting. No, I think it is Stage. Okay. Well, sometimes you just draw it. Run Afoul is the big card here that I'm kind of worried about, though. Run Afoul really strong. And I don't have another flyer. I don't believe. Yeah. But seeing they're getting the Black Source, I feel like they're playing Assassin's Trophy instead. Oh. Cradle. Maybe here to play around, I think I actually just will go for it here to play around Assassin's Trophy. One cool thing as well, just so people are clear about Dark Depths, Marit Lage, and Tabernacle. Tabernacle says, at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this creature unless you pay 1. It's not some sort of like sacrifice effect. And because Marit Lage is an indestructible creature, you don't have to pay with it with Tabernacle. Because Tabernacle try to destroy it, it's indestroyable. So if you ever see a lands player paying for their own Marit Lage with Tabernacle, they're probably a new player. That's kind of the... Okay, well, there we go. There we go. Maybe they had... I guess they didn't have Run Afoul, which is interesting, but... Pretty cool to run that back and get the 4-1. Because the 2-3 didn't feel too good, but... yeah, some sweet decks we got up against. Played against like Bug Natural Order, Elves. Played against that like Affinity deck, which was 2-0. We lost. What did we lose to? Green White Depths. And one more. But nice to get the play points back. Get those chests. Hey, Star Fox. Yeah, pretty unlucky. I think having the Tabernacle early on was really nice. I do know that Depths is just like a faster deck than Elves most of the time, so it does seem like a pretty uphill battle for you to just like try to go off as soon as possible. We weren't sure if you're playing Run Afoul or Assassin's Trophy. Run Afoul we can't play around, but Assassin's Trophy we kind of can if you tap out. But yeah. GG's. Always pretty fun. Always lucky as well just to draw like the Depths when I need it, or like the double crop. So this is the first League you cut Wasteland. Okay. I assume like there's no like Karakas in the deck. You had trophies? Okay, nice. Nice. Deck was, yeah, pretty sweet. But that's going to be me. That is going to be me. A huge thank you to everyone who came in and tuned in from Justin's stream. If you want to follow me here, definitely consider following. It's free. You can also find me on YouTube, here, and of course Twitter, and at Green Sun Zenith, which I am currently in the process of going through some updates, which is cool. So they should be live pretty shortly. But it's a little bit tough with, you know, talks of bannings around. It's hard to do primers on decks when you have to talk about cards like Ragavan or Daze or Murktide or X card, and then, you know, when it gets banned, you kind of have to go back through it and redo it. But I love it. Sol, thanks for the follow. I'm going to see who else is streaming on Twitch and send you guys over there. But a huge thank you to the new subs, the new resubs. It means a hell of a lot. I actually don't see anyone playing that I know. So if anyone has anyone that they would like me to raid, definitely let me know. Modern, Vintage Cube. I think we're just gonna go for Fluffy, but a huge thank you all. We'll see you probably in the new year. I'm off to the coast tomorrow, so yeah, stay safe, enjoy your New Year's, and we'll see you soon. Until then, I'll have leagues going up on YouTube pretty much every day.